city, moving like the river, hear the heartbeat come together. Lights, no colors in the weather, hit that bell.
Seeing 3333, that's not random. It's the universe tapping you on the shoulder, letting you know you're supported. It's a sign to trust the path you're on. This number carries creativity,
ancestral intelligence, anthologies, activation, and frequency, energy. I give thanks, all of me travel, let the art light the line, big bless up, safe travels, my sacred cosmic travelers.
From this table of accord, we trace the line. A thread of light across seas, across borders. What begins in Gaza meets the heart of Minneapolis. The fence becomes...
I miss being human. This eternal life feels like an eternal death.
Summer. If you really want to know what's happening this summer, sensational street fests, city waves you can surf, neon drone races, art you can walk through.
This summer, the city goes quiet under martial law, but the silence is only the beginning. They're finally telling us what they've known all along.
Stories we were not meant to know are being told. They walk beside us, and some aren't from here. Some call them Nordic, others Anunnaki. But all of them wear our faces. Myths are...
Instead, descending through the stone throat of the world, I expected darkness. Instead, I found light. Strange.
Trees. Beneath the mountains, they guard what the world can never replace. The monks of Agartha, keepers of Earth's most precious resources and the knowledge to protect them. In halls of glowing crystal.
For eons, man has searched for his origin amongst the stars. And little by little, they found traces. A connection to something greater than themselves, which led man to ask questions of who is the creator? Who are the engineers? Why did they create us? What is our purpose? Are they coming back? After many resets, a lot of species were forgotten. For centuries, Labubu was dismissed as a child's fancy, ink on paper, whimsy given teeth. But legends do not live long without revealing some truth. After years of quiet searching, we found it. Beyond the fog line, where the maps lose their confidence, stood the kingdom of Labubu. Stone towers built like brains, bells rang without being touched, and from the shadows, small eyes watch, ancient keepers of memory and mischief, things best forgotten.
I'm the Galaxy Fried Chicken here in Atlanta, home of the blue chicken meal with salad. I'm on shift today, come see how we make it. We brine the chicken with butterfly pea flour so it fries up this cosmic blue crunch. Top it with our citrus kale salad.
It's your boy Bigfoot. Tonight, we're going undercover. Step 1, the stash. Caramels, gummies, chocolate, check. Step 2, deploy the sling bag. Maximum smuggle capacity. We're in. Nobody suspects the hairy guy.
People are waking up and they're seeing shadow people. Pretty soon you'll be seeing shadow people as you go down the street. Don't become frightened. Simply means that your higher vibrations now are kicking in, and the spectrum outside of the 12 spectrum site we have, you begin to look out the corner of your eye, because that's when you go into a different spectrum. That's why you always see them out the corner of your eye, especially when you wake up in the morning, because you're coming back into your body, by the way. You die every night, by the way. So don't worry about it. You're going to die tonight and look forward to it. You will, and you will. And that's where it's supposed to be. That's why when you ascend in harmony, you just wake up one day and it's all cool. But we've got to fear that because we don't know we die every night and look forward to it. And you cross through those spectrums where they exist every night. That's what they call fourth dimension. And that's when you see the old hag. Some people wake up and they got the old hag sitting on their chest. They can't breathe. I felt like a wizard. That's because the pressure of your soul body coming back in was not quite seated. Let me explain the witch's ride right quickly, the old hag right quickly, and the extra dimension that you go through right quickly. You're like on the bottom of a pyramid, only the pyramid has been built on top of you. So when you lie in your bed at night, there's a pyramid that's been built on top of you. And the pyramid has 7 dimensions. The top dimension actually goes into an area that you might call air. The base of it is in what you might call an ocean of matter, and you're beneath all of it. So when your id or spirit, or what they call the ka comes out of it, it goes through that first dimension into all the shrimp and the crustacea and the crab and everything that are on the bottom of that ocean. You got to go through that. But then as you float up, you become lighter until finally you become like, what do they call it? Sea anemones and flying fish. If you're a flying fish, it's really good because you can leap out of the water into the air. Well, you can not only can do that, but if you can really get through all of it, you can leap out of all the corpuscular energy, what they call matter, into the air. Then you're in what they call now astral flight. And you're flying all over the place. But when you come back in again, you come down from the flight up there, all the way back in, down to the bottom of there, and just before you cross over into what your body has now become, you wake up. And you wake up before you're completely reconnected. And in not being reconnected, you wake up too soon, so you're not back in your body, you're in free space, and you can't scream and you can't move, and you say, but nothing's coming out, and you go completely panicking. And the old hag said, we got us one now. And the other one said, we got us one now. And you're screaming, and then finally you wake up and you said, I had a nightmare. My God. Well, sometimes you can have daymares. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you might even not even get a mare. You might get a stallion, you know. How about sex classes? So there you are. All you did is you woke up too soon, because every time you go out of your body, you travel. It's just that when you get good at it and transfer your memory, you are aware of where you're traveling.
Those numbers follow me everywhere. Da Vinci saw them too, hidden in the body, in the heavens. The golden curve that ties it all together.
Magic. The word magic has traveled a long, winding road. In ancient Persia, the Magoosh were respected priests and star scholars. But when the Greeks met them, they called their rites magia.
To the ancient Greeks, magicae meant a foreign art, a mystery carried by Persian priests. Centuries later, the word traveled through Latin and Old French, arriving in English simply as magic.
Do you ever think about where words come from? This is a magnetic field, and it's super, super dope that we can see it at this stage in our evolution. But before we could see it, we probably thought it was magic. So where did that net come from? That net came from ancient Egypt. The gods were called the netters, and they were masters of nature. They could control the forces of nature. That's why the gods taught you to master your mind. These gods in your mind taught you how to climb the Jed pillar, which when you reached the top, you became a Jedi. To become a Jedi, you had to master your base animalistic desires. This is where we get the caduceus, the chakras, and the serpent of Kundalini. To conquer these desires, you had to master the midbrain, which is Osiris. It's the most ancient part of the brain, the lizard brain. That's why he was green. On top of the Jed pillar is Horus, the falcon, and once he spreads his wings, you open up the access to your third eye, the Eye of Horus. This gives you the ability to see reality and ultimately control it. It's also where the pyramid and eye symbology comes from all over the world. Pretty cool.
Another one of the symbols I find to be very interesting, that's used quite often around the world today, but a lot of people don't know how it's connected to the religions of today, and that is a magic wand. Magic wands, we've heard in stories galore from children from childhood days about magicians who use a magic wand. Well, the magic wand is just what it says it is. It's some sort of a branch of a tree that has been consecrated and made holy by blessings from the priest, and now it has a magical quality that can do things that humans can't do. The Druid priests, they used the wood of a holly tree. They used Hollywood, and that's what we get the term today, Hollywood, and the magic of Hollywood. Today we have Hollywood, we have Mickey Mouse waving a magic wand. On the left side we also have actual real magic wands as they are made today in Europe. And of course orchestra leaders and orchestra conductors, they lead the music with a magic wand. And a lot of people haven't thought about that, but that's what it is, a magic wand. So here we have a picture of Moses where he is conjuring up the spirits in the universe with a magic wand. That's very interesting. Moses with a magic wand. In the ancient Roman Empire, the most important god at the height of Rome's power in the world was a god named Mithra. Mithra was a sun god. And according to the Roman explanation of their god, he was not only a sun god, but he did his miracles with a magic wand. Now here we have Jesus raising Lazarus from the tomb. And you will see that Jesus is using a magic wand. How many Christians know that all throughout Europe and around the world, Christian churches have Jesus working his miracles with magic wands? A lot of people don't know that, and so we hear all about the magical things that Jesus was able to do, but here in the actual churches, we see that Jesus is doing his miracles with a magic wand. The importance of this is to point out that people do not realize that in Christianity, the understanding in the ancient world and in the medieval world was that these religious figures like Jesus were doing their miracles with magic wands. But it's actually legitimate, de jure, real magical system of controlling people's minds and directing their spirits and their hearts, and being able to direct our civilization through magical symbols and magical words.
Two angels came down, and these angels were called Harut and Marut, and they came to the city of Babylon. Firstly, where is Babel? Where is Babylon? Iraq. And how ancient is Babylon? It is said to be the most ancient city. There was no city before the city of Babylon to that level. The first real civilization was Babylon. So we are going back pre-Ibrahim. We're going back to the earliest of times, way before Musa, way before Sulaiman. So Allah is telling us, when did magic begin? This is the story. Allah sent down two angels with the knowledge of how to control or access the jinn, and the angels were sent to the city of Babylon, and the angels were allowed to teach anybody who wanted to study with them the quote-unquote art of magic. But the angels also came with a big disclaimer, and that disclaimer was إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةٌ فَلَا تَكْفُرْ. The angels said to anybody who came to them, we are a test from Allah, so do not commit kufr by studying with us.
They learned from them مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ, what they would use to cause division between a man and his wife. So they were learning things so they could use it against someone. Give me a spell that will cause a divorce here, cause a fight there. That's the spell I want to learn. مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ. And they are never and were never ever able to cause any harm to anyone إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, except by the permission of Allah. What did Allah just reconfirm here? Magic, talismans, whatever they learned in and of itself had no value, except if Allah gave permission. إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مَا يَضُرُّهُمْ وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُم. And they learned what would harm them and not benefit them. Now it's interesting, what they were learning was to try to harm someone else. But Allah describes it as something that they would learn to harm themselves. What's the ultimate harm? To lose your iman. That's the ultimate harm. وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ, and it produced no benefit for them. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ, and they already knew that whoever purchases it, he will have nothing for him at all of any portion. In the akhirah, he will have nothing of it. They already knew that before they got into it. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ مَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ وَلَا بِئْسَ مَا شَرَوْا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُمْ. What a horrible thing they sold themselves for. لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ, had they only known. لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ, had they only known.
They studied that which only harms them and there is no benefit. So magic has zero benefit. Unlike alcohol, Allah says khamr has some benefit. Khamr has some benefit. This is in the Quran. But the harm outweighs the benefit. As for sihr, there's no benefit. It's only evil. And the angels taught or told the men, لَمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ, whoever got this knowledge from them, مَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ, they would have no share of the next world. You can literally purchase this world at the expense of the next. وَلَبِئْسَ مَا شَرَوْا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُمْ, and what an evil price they sold themselves for. لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ, if they only understood. Those who studied it became the first magicians. And all magic that is existent today somehow goes back to Babylon. And there are different madhahib of magic as well, by the way. It's not just one madhab. There are different madhahib and different arts and different ways within magic. They all originate at Babylon.
From the block where the paint still drips to the rooftops. From the block where the paint still drips to the rooftops. From the block where the paint still drips to the rooftops. Glinting in the late day mist. That's Detroit City, Detroit City, Detroit City.